Now we're recording, bitch.
I don't hear you in the microphone, bitch.
You don't hear me in the microphone?
No.
You're lying to your fucking teeth. Ah, god damn it. You're an asshole.
I know.
What are we drinking tonight, you fuck?
We are drinking Four Roses Bourbon, Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. We're doing some day drinking today. So, just because you love it so much, Paul Jones Jr., the founder of Four Roses Bourbon, became smitten by a beautiful Southern belle. He sent a proposal to her, and she replied that if her answer were yes, she would wear a corsage of roses on her gown to the upcoming grand ball. When she showed up the night of the ball in her beautiful gown, she wore a corsage of 4 red roses. He later named his bourbon Four Roses as a symbol of his devout passion for the lovely belle. Four Roses, Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey.
All right.
40 proof.
All right. We'll cheers on this in a second, but we have a special
2 guests.
episode. So a special episode. Quit trying to finish my sentences.
2 guests.
But we'll cheers when they come on. But this is our 50th fucking episode, dude. So happy 5th anniversary.
Happy 5th anniversary. What?
I don't know.
50.
So tonight we have the Sad Bois.
Yes, we do. So Gabe has been on here before.
Hello, everyone.
And now the
we didn't say you could talk yet.
Goodbye, everyone.
The other sad boy, Parker Berry.
Hey, so cheers, bitches.
Hello.
Cheers.
You can take a puff while we take a drink.
He's drinking. What are you drinking there, Parker?
I can't confirm nor deny.
Evidently, he's
just a little
recording
bit of
in
coffee,
Zimbabwe
a little
because there's a goddamn
hazelnut.
delay.
Coffee. What kind of coffee are you drinking?
Folgers.
How did I know you were going to say Folgers?
Spinning the big bucks.
I love it.
So those that don't know, Parker is the proprietor of Druid Clothing Company.
Yep.
So Parker did a shirt with us that 2 of you bought. Thank you.
we are grateful.
Right. Still waiting on that $20 from Parker. No, just kidding.
Damn.
It's on its way.
No, I'm just kidding. Keep it. So the Sad Bois, a podcast that started how many years ago? Has it been 3 already?
Yeah, 3 years. 2017.
So in other words, that new and noteworthy thing just fucking ship has sailed.
Well, you actually don't need a timing for new and noteworthy.
Yeah, you do.
Oh, it's a time thing now?
You have to hit a certain amount of listens within like fucking 3 or 4 months of getting.
Well, we're out too then.
I thought just anybody could get it.
No.
I think it's one of those like,
well, I'm sure there's exceptions.
you get like a Grammy for best new artist and you've had like 2 albums before.
Right. Yeah. That's possible. I know that Joey and I would be in the running. If they have,
Yeah, sure. Sure.
Why don't they have a been around a while and noteworthy?
That's actually not pretty good.
I just want anything with a noteworthy in it.
You guys will be
That's fine.
at the top of the list.
Yeah.
Thanks. I'm at the top of my list.
That's what really matters, right?
It is. It's absolutely what really matters.
Yeah. Oh, well.
So how long did your podcast run?
It's still running.
I never really stopped. We
It's
good.
we just wanted to release our 50th episode with you guys. We were waiting around for you guys to catch up. So that's what it was. That's all it was.
Well, that's why we had you guys on here, because it was you, if I'm not mistaken, are recording your 50th episode today. And then
Indeed,
we're doing our 50th episode. Any idea when your episode after 50 will happen? Like 51 and later?
Parker, what do you think?
what do you, Gabe?
We're
I think
we're
it's
working
probably
around.
going to be like soon.
Parker's got a big schedule.
We
Oh no!
Oh, I think Parker's all froze up.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, I'm out in Colorado now. That's her.
Evidently, they don't have very good Wi-Fi up in
Can
the
you hear me?
mountains where he's living in his cabin.
It's Colorado. The mountains are high.
So is it just me, or does Parker look like he could be my son?
Yeah, we can hear you. A little bit, yes.
Okay, word.
Parker, you can call me Daddy if you want to.
So, real quick, it'll not be real quick. So we had a couple of people in the music industry died this week. Charlie Daniels.
Thank God.
Evidently, the South is not going to do it again. More so than that, we had the famed, and I like him much more than Charlie Daniels.
Let's infringe the copyrights here. Really?
Ennio Morricone died.
Oh, okay. I thought you said Eastwood died?
No, God, he'll never die. He'll never die. As long as there's an empty chair on a Republican National Convention somewhere, he'll be alive.
That's fair. We should start recording all of our fucking podcasts with just me and you on a Zoom meeting. I like this angle. I feel good about it.
Do you?
Yeah.
So, both of them died, but the real true hero that passed away this week, not in the music industry. I'm trying to load up a photo to show at least the three of you.
You were not goddamn prepared for this at
all. I
all.
was prepared, and then we decided to not use the iPad for my Zoom, so I have to now do it on here. But
well, sometimes you have to undo bad ideas to get a good one.
Sure.
Yeah.
A real hero. Mary Kay Letourneau passed away, ladies and gentlemen. Mary Kay Letourneau, if you remember, was the woman that started sleeping with the 12-year-old student, went to jail for it, and then eventually married him and had kids.
Yep.
So we lost a real ride or die this week, guys. We lost a real ride or die this week.
Dude, it was last year.
A true icon.
There was some lady that got arrested, obviously for banging kids, but she was a special ed student and was banging one of her special kids.
It wasn't Christina Ricci, was it?
No.
Oh, okay. Well.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, right? Well, you know, with that kind of strength, she can just get tossed around.
Oh, that's true. I hadn't thought of it like that. Oh, God. Well.
So if it was legal and perfectly not frowned upon by the Bible or otherwise, would you fucking bang a chimpanzee?
It depends
what they were wearing.
because I'm an ass man, and so
baboon. You'd be more likely to fuck a baboon.
Probably the ones that has like the pink butt.
Yeah,
that's for sure. Yeah, I think so. Anyway, so all right, so back to the.
Would it be gay if you allowed yourself to be penetrated by a gorilla?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
That's a good question. What does that fall under first, bestiality or homosexuality?
I don't know.
I think bestiality's got to take the cake on that one.
You think so?
Well, then what is it?
I'm not saying one's worse than the other. I'm just saying.
Bestiality if you don't have a choice and you just essentially get raped by a gorilla?
I don't think so.
Right.
Huh.
I thought you were saying that both parties were consenting.
that one time that I swear that goat raped the shit out of me.
That's funny. Yeah, a goat. Yeah. All right, so back to the we will definitely get into this at some point. So back to the topic at hand, the Sad Bois. Tell us about the podcast. I know you talked about it some when you were on before, Gabe, but tell us about the podcast. Where did it come from? How did it get started? All of that.
Well, I was away. I was out of town for a summer, and Parker and I were both just incredibly deeply depressed. And so
very sad.
A lot of our nights were spent FaceTiming or on the phone for like hours at a time, just talking about all kinds of random bullshit. And at some point we were like, this is kind of fun. Maybe other people would think these conversations are fun too. A few did.
That's like the start of every romantic comedy ever.
Yeah.
We just didn't have a very good meet
We
cute.
fell in love that summer.
Yeah, that's funny.
And then when I got back to town, we started recording in a garage.
Okay. Whose garage?
And then we moved on up in the world. And we moved into the closet.
Yeah, I remember the closet. I remember the closet. Yeah. Oh God.
7 minutes of heaven.
But we recorded a big hitter in that closet. The Yay Sayer episode. I'm still so proud of that interview. Yeah. That was so much fun.
Rest in peace.
But they're done, dude.
Wow.
They broke up, dude. I got this tattoo for nothing. 3 tickets for life for nothing.
You got to go to one
they
free
broke
show.
Up. That was cool. Definitely worth it.
I forgot to mention we're also drinking some Dr. Robot from Monday Night Brewing.
I'm drinking some fucking basic bitch Starbucks.
Yeah, I hate Starbucks.
5-shot Breve latte.
That's not very basic.
1 raw sugar.
Your heart's gonna explode,
dude. This is my it's my go-to.
Yeah. Okay, so you started recording in a garage. Why the garage?
We wanted to smoke while we recorded.
Makes complete sense.
Yeah, 100%.
Joey won't let us smoke in here.
That was 100% the reason.
You're right. I won't. Yeah.
So we compromised sound quality for nice buzz.
That's a good trade-off.
But it worked. I think.
That poker table was fun. We recorded on a poker table for a while. And so just tossing cards back and forth to each other the whole time. It was fun. Those were I missed them. Gabe, I'm getting sentimental. We're talking about the past.
Yeah, they were nice and they were very sweet.
I lost my virginity on a poker table. I drew low cards.
Oh God!
It was a very rough startup because we were just huddled around a single microphone and didn't really know what the fuck we were doing.
Were we recording on GarageBand?
Yep.
That's a leg up to most.
Great program.
We're recording like Reaper.
Yeah. We were on GarageBand pretty much the whole time.
Yeah.
So
there's a lot of people record right into Audacity or just into their phone or voice note into their phone, which sounds awful.
It does.
So we were a little smarter than that. We also started in college, so we didn't have any money to get started.
A poor man's Logic, which is a poor man's Pro Tools.
Yeah. I don't know. It depends on what you're using it for. Pro Tools has kind of gone to shit a little more recently. On a high professional level, not so much, but like home use Pro Tools.
Well, if you're doing anything with MIDI, Logic to me is better than Pro Tools.
Or Ableton.
All right. I've never used Ableton, so...
Well, that's more if you want to make some sick fucking beats.
If you want to be the next Skrillex.
Yeah.
So Matthew and his buddy use Ableton, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, I just realized that because the way we've got the audio and stuff set up here, that the only 2 people being recorded in this call are probably you and Parker.
No.
Okay. I don't mean audio-wise. I mean video-wise.
Oh, you think so?
Probably.
I don't think so.
Every time me or Gabe speaks, it highlights your window because the audio's coming from...
Oh, yeah. That's fine. I still think you'll be able to hear it, though, because
you'll be able to hear it.
Yeah.
Getting audio here, but...
Jesus Christ, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I should be the one highlighted.
You're right. You should. You're the funny one.
Yeah.
So which one?
That's going to be your go-to until somebody else fucking.
I don't mind
better.
Not being considered the funny one.
No. I
love that it pisses you off a little bit that I was called the cutest.
No, see, it doesn't now, but in the same way though, when somebody first said you had a moment of, I'm funny.
Well, just like you had the moment of,
exactly.
No, for sure. But they didn't. Here's the thing: they didn't say I'm not funny.
Right.
They said you are the funniest.
Right, and they didn't say I wasn't cute.
Wow, Parker, we've had the same exact
that's what
argument.
And that's what I was going to ask you guys because we got this from people. We put out a thing on the website where people could anonymously leave feedback, and
it's still there. God damn it! If you're listening, fill that bitch out.
Yeah, and so people did, and that's what they said. One of them said I was the cutest, and said Steven was the funniest. Someone said that we tackle hard topics with class.
That's surprising.
Surprising, yeah, that is. So,
because I keep my pinky up when I
you never
jerk
thought
that
you'd
shit.
receive.
Yeah. So, which one of you guys?
Gabe was the funny one and the cute one, according to everyone else. Right. According to everyone else, yeah.
Don't be too hard.
I mean, I gotta call it like I see it.
Well, the thing
we ran polls on all of our social media to find out who the funniest was.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I lost every time.
Parker had a couple of things, especially early on when he was pitching like fake movies or whatever, and he had one, and I can't remember it, but it was legitimately funny and a very good idea.
12 Years a Rave.
Maybe that was it. I don't remember, but
I very much remember that one.
So one thing about Parker for sure that I remember is that he thinks that Tobey Maguire is the best Spider-Man that there's been.
What the fuck?
And he also is it Spider-Man 3 with Tobey Maguire? He thought was the best one.
He's a Spider-Man 2 guy.
Spider-Man 2. Okay.
Yeah, Spider-Man 2.
All right.
And I don't think now. Oh, this argument.
There's no argument.
Ancient. It's ancient. Oh no. We Gabe and I that was where the Sad Bois started. Those phone calls were just arguing about Spider-Man.
We've just yelling at each other.
Yeah. I think that Tobey Maguire is the best. 1 and 2 at least. 3 is dog shit. I mean, let's be honest. But 1 and 2 are great. I still think that those are my favorite Spider-Man movies. Still.
Okay.
I'm fired up again.
See, I'm more of an Andrew Garfield guy.
That's crazy.
But I do like Tom Holland. I do. I've watched both of the more recent Spider-Man movies, and yeah, like they're good movies. Superhero movies feel a lot of times like a video game, like you're watching a video game. The fight sequence and stuff, because the CGI and everything, it's gotten better, but still, as a superhero movie goes, which Marvel sets the bar.
Yeah.
Poor DC, they haven't done.
Which is crazy. Like I love the Marvel movies and everything, but I'm a Superman. Like that's my guy, and it's DC.
DC's going to bring it back with the Batman, I think.
Well, I hope so.
I think it's going to be so sick.
Well, I mean, they have like the Wonder Woman, like Gal Gadot is one of the best, like cast.
Yeah. I liked Ben Affleck as Batman.
I did too.
And
I did
so
too.
many people didn't like it, but I think they just they didn't accept or think about the fact that he's
because Matt Damon wasn't there.
Well, no, I think it's because they didn't take into consideration this is supposed to be an aged old Batman that's wiser, but not quite as he's
a little jaded now.
Well, that too.
Dark Knight Returns. Best comic book run. I think that's my favorite Batman comic book run.
All right, nerd. We're talking about movies, not comic books.
I know. I'm just saying. No. I know. I'm just saying. Like he nailed that version of it, though. Like that's the one they were trying to go for.
Do you think that he read those comic books to get the character down, or do you think he just is really just that amazing of an actor?
I don't know, man.
I don't think it's either.
I think he kind of went back to his Gone Girl character.
Oh, you think so?
He's just like depressed.
I want to see a Batman movie with Danny Pudi.
Actually, that's a pretty good idea, actually. Well, you could do a Mystery Men type movie with him playing Batman, which would be pretty good.
No, I mean, I want a real fucking Batman movie.
You do.
You want him to be Bruce Wayne.
Yes.
But hold on a minute. All right. Marvel... Do you consider? I know Spider-Man was Marvel, right? Mm-hmm. But Sony owns Spider-Man or the rights to it or something like that. So would you say Spider-Man Marvel? It doesn't matter. So this would be a Marvel and DC collab. But what if you had Danny Pudi as Batman?
I'm sold. I know exactly where you're going.
And Donald Glover as Spider-Man.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah. It
would be the most outrageous thing anyone has ever seen, but I'm here for it.
What if there was a Community spin-off movie where where it was Abed was Batman and Troy was
They're doing vigilante
Spider-Man.
shit.
Yeah.
As long as I got my main goddamn movie first, I don't give a shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
It'll happen.
Dude,
Parker, are you a Community fan?
I have just gotten into it. And like since the quarantine started, I started it, and it is hysterical. Yeah. I'm not all caught up. I'm like on season 2, I think.
Oh, that's when it gets good.
Yeah, I mean, season 1's good, but season 2 is really where it kind of hits its stride. Mm-hmm. But anyway,
kind of like Parks and Rec. It was the same way.
And I never watched Parks and Rec.
I watched the first 2 seasons, and then
I watched the first episode.
It got better and better. Like it was one of those shows that like they really didn't have a slump season. It just each one improved. Okay. Like the first season was just a blatant Office ripoff.
Yeah.
Second one they started hitting their stride a little bit, and by the third season it's
so maybe I should go back then and watch it because I didn't continue watching it because it was just a.
Yeah, I always tell people to start on the second season and then get on to the third because the first season is kind of
Okay.
I love Parks and Rec. It's one of my favorite series. Absolutely. Go back and check it out. I think by the beginning of season 3 was when I started to really like it.
Exactly.
So.
All right, so more about the Sad Bois. What's the matter?
I had to burp.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe you drank that Four Roses too
He suddenly came down with a case of the COVID. I do declare.
So, Sad Bois, what, like, I know you said you're working around schedules and things like that, but do you ever see it going back to a weekly or bi-weekly or anything like that? So I'm fine with that, but actually, maybe I should tell you what I was going to say.
Why don't you talk about it on your fucking 50th episode?
maybe I should tell you what we actually got together to tell you first today before you give away that idea. Is that we all got together so that we could tell you that Gabe's going to start doing his own podcast without you. So. No. I did all of that just for that one look on Parker's face just there.
Sad boy.
Yeah.
Oh. I like this 4-way screen here going on. I want to see an Andy Warhol type fucking mural with the 4 of these photos.
Parker. All right, Parker, there you go. Totally. Yeah, if you get a screenshot and if you can make that happen within the next 48 hours, we'll post it as the thing for this on Instagram. That's a good idea. All right, so about this idea, do you want to give it away or are you going to keep it under wraps?
Yeah, we can go into detail on ours and we'll just tease it here. How you feel about that? Be a little tease.
Don't tease me, bro.
There you go. So anyone listening to us, if the 5 of you want to hear their idea, then you have to listen to the Sad Bois podcast whenever it releases.
Yeah, all 5 of them aren't going to make it to ours.
They might. We might have a few.
I'll get lost on the way over.
Yeah. So we're trying to do a little more, not like educational, maybe do a little more research and do some, kind of split the episodes from like one episode will be, kind of a deep dive into anyone, in the film industry, music industry, anything like that. 'Cause we kind of just turned into a pop culture podcast towards the end. So kind of doing a deep dive and then, the next episode being just a regular Sad Bois episode kind of thing.
That's cool.
So we can get back to our film roots.
What is a regular Sad Bois episode? Like, what is a regular Sad Bois episode?
Mediocrity.
A whole lot of bullshit. We always tried to talk about a specific thing for each episode.
We used to try to do that.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But it's mostly tangents.
Yep.
Well, that's it. Didn't work for us because we would start on topic, but would quickly run way off in the other direction.
Right.
Which someone said,
it's because I'm out there.
Yes, you're out there. Someone, and I'm not as funny as you, so I can't bring it back in with any comedy. So, but someone said that the two of us have these pockets of just greatness, and then we go way the fuck out there on some other shit, and then we come back in and have another few minutes of just really good shit, and then we're way back out there again. So
keep you on your toes.
I guess so. Yeah. Sure. Hey. Makes you decide if you're really committed to listening to us.
Well, I feel like the longer our episodes get, the smaller our audience is going to become.
So?
Oh, yeah.
It's hard to get everything that we want to say into an hour like we started.
I barely like being here with you for 2 hours at a time. Much less sitting in a car when I have the option to fucking turn it off.
Well.
Yeah. We have another pop culture guy who's going to be coming out. Is that next episode?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to compare him to you guys to see how well he does with pop culture.
Yeah, interesting bio that he sent us. So, but he does a pop culture podcast.
Was the guy you know already, or
no? We met him through podcasting, social media, and stuff like that. So,
see, really, all I want to do with this podcast is get popular enough that one of us has a dick pic leak on the internet. People will give a shit. Like that's really all I want.
I mean, if we brought Hunter on as a third host, then that's done already.
Right. Dude, did you guys... Jesus Christ, I wish I saw the thing. So Hunter, the guy that we shit on all the time, he's got a dick the size of my fucking forearm. It's white privilege for sure. Because I discovered he had a OnlyFans account, so I subscribed for a month so I could get these pictures for the episode. And I shit you not, it is probably the biggest white guy cock I've ever seen.
How many white guy cocks have you seen?
I've seen a lot of white guy cocks.
Yeah, a lot.
I mean, I've seen a lot of miscellaneous race cocks, but Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I was military for fucking almost 9 years. I've seen a lot of dicks.
Yeah.
I mean, especially when we're all fucking each other underway.
Oh, God. Oh, Jesus.
See, my favorite thing, I feel like my role here is to derail whatever direction you're going on and just completely take it.
You should get paid for it because you're fucking good.
I know.
Oh, God. So Parker, what's life like in Colorado?
It's awesome. A lot of outdoor stuff to go do. I do a lot of art, so just been grinding on that sort of stuff. And
the plant life is incredible.
That's what I was going to say. They say that the plant life out there is really conducive to good art.
It's a great place to be a botanist.
I wouldn't know. Yeah. It's great though. I really enjoy it. The altitude, it's really high. It's high.
That's what I hear.
Right.
So why did you?
But it stops at the top of the globe. So
yeah. So I know you mentioned earlier with the coronavirus pandemic and all that stuff, making the decision to go ahead and move to Colorado. But you had already been talking about it a little bit. What took you to Colorado? Not the pandemic as far as why you decided to do it quicker, but what was the original reason for moving out to Colorado?
I just had a group of friends out here that was helping start a church, and they needed some media help, and I really wanted to go to Colorado, and kind of just hopped on that, and really just took it as an opportunity to get out here with my friends and just step away from
Gabe.
From Atlanta. And,
basically said fuck you to his southern friends and went to Colorado.
If I thought I stood a chance of making any other friends, I'd fucking leave and go somewhere else.
That's because you know the truth of the matter.
I do. I absolutely do.
Yeah, Atlanta was just I just hated Atlanta. From like my mental health, it was just not the best.
Wow. I'm telling Killer Mike.
That new album is incredible. That new album really is incredible, by the way. I've listened to it.
I know you've never really gotten into Run the Jewels, but their new album is great.
Yeah, it's just so good.
Yeah. So, anyway, sorry. So my brother-in-law, who's about 5 years older than me, on vacation, just came up all of a sudden, was like, dude, have you guys heard the new Run the Jewels album? And we're like, well, no, I didn't know there wasn't. He was like, it's fucking insane. Completely caught off guard by him. And Steven's pouring me another heavy pour.
Wowzers.
Yeah. Day drinking. Yeah.
It's about like mine. You have ice in yours.
Okay.
I don't know, man.
I'm going to go get some pickle juice on the break so I can do me some picklebacks.
Fuck yes.
Yeah. All right. So, all right, you wanted to go out there and be with friends because fuck all your friends in the South.
Yeah.
And you like the altitude and all of that jazz. So what kind of church are you working with?
Well, actually, because of coronavirus, it has closed down. So
Ooh.
I'm just out here now. Yeah. I'm kind of just out here now.
Real wealth of the wicked situation.
Yeah,
The lack of faith in the protection of the
Yeah.
Lord.
I didn't make the call. But I mean, it happens, man. You know, I'm just excited to be out in Colorado more than anything. That was the bigger draw than.
So what are you doing out there then if you're not working with that church? Like, what are you working? What are you doing for a job or for income?
I am like doing freelance art.
Oh, okay.
So just like graphic design, illustration, paintings, sort of the works. But it's paying the bills, which is kind of really cool.
Yep.
To like make something and it, you know, put food in your belly.
Nice.
That's tight.
Do you
And
ever
Harry Potter posters on your wall?
Do you ever use Fiverr?
Yeah, Harry. I do not use Fiverr. I usually just do Instagram and clients that keep coming back for more stuff. So I need to get into Fiverr though. I need to set that up for myself ASAP because times be tough.
Right. I feel like if you put out a specialty as like painting dicks as anime characters, you could probably make a goddamn killing.
Actually, yeah, you probably could.
Right. I'm not even joking.
Yeah.
I have never seen anyone that willingly
Like
would
its
draw
own
penis.
Etsy.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
That's a great idea. I might write that down.
Well, you'd have to put up with like an avalanche of dick pics, but I mean,
Well, yeah,
if
that's
it's
what you're
making you
saying.
money.
If you actually got people to submit their pictures of their own dick and painted their dick as an anime character, you probably
That's
make
what
even
I
more
mean.
money. I
Fucking-
thought you were just saying paint a dick that looks like an
No,
anime
that
character.
would be
You're
cool,
saying
too. No.
You're saying like I would say,
Commission
hey,
goddamn
hey,
artwork.
give me a Goku dick, and then I send a picture of my dick.
That's
and he
exactly
he
what I
says it.
mean. And you try to capture the personality of that fucking cock.
But so I'm going to send you two pics. I'm going to send a flaccid, and I'm going to send a hard, and I'm going to need a Saiyan, and I'm going to need a Super Saiyan. So that's the extent of any Dragon Ball Z shit that I know right there.
Tell me I'm wrong that a dick has a different personality than the person it's attached to. All dicks have a fucking it's like it's like a pseudo.
I'd really like
It's
to
like, look who's
read
talking.
some scientific research about this.
You should.
I'm interested.
It's
Yeah.
a mind of its own.
Well, no, because like people like think about it. You look at your dick usually differently than you look at the rest of your body, so it kind of assumes its own fucking personality.
Yeah, well, it's like I'll say anything while I'm sitting behind a mic right now, but my dick is super shy.
Right.
So like he's a good guy. My dick is a guy you take home to meet your mom.
Right.
But I'm not that
Right.
guy.
Like
So,
I don't like mashed potatoes, but my fucking dick does.
yeah, you're way out there, and your dick is like almost up in there.
Oh, it is.
So
I have to coax that bitch out with Skittles before I have sex.
all right. So hold on just a second.
While we're on, wait before we before we move on, I have a question. Actually, it's perfectly timed for a couple older gentlemen like yourself. I don't know if I need to go get this checked out. As you get older, does it get harder to start a stream? Do I need to go get that checked out?
So yes, you need to get it checked out.
No, you're fine.
Oh, okay. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. 'Cause Steven's going to lead you to death. Steven comes but to steal, kill, and destroy. I come that you may have life and life more abundantly. So, So, yes, you should go to a doctor, and they may tell you that you're okay, that whatever. But does prostate cancer run in your family?
Oh, my God.
Like, in all seriousness.
Put that thought in my head. No.
I'm just saying seriousness, because if it does, like it does in my family. So when my birthday hits in January, I have to start getting prostate exams 10 years earlier than everyone else
because
it
his
runs in my
birthday
family.
marks the line where it has to start happening.
No, it's when you're 40.
Yeah,
and that's when my birthday hits. That marks the line where I turn 40.
Okay.
So there you go. At some point in my 40th year,
I identify as a 25-year-old.
I identify as a 13-year-old male. As evidenced last week.
But it does to a point. Like, it can be a few things, though. Like, right, you can have a mild UTI. You can have an inflamed prostate. If you have back problems and that shit's fucking with you, that can make it hard to piss. So, yeah, don't go to the doctor. You're fine.
Well, for me, as my weight fluctuates, things like that change. But
it just keeps going up.
Right. It just keeps you. Yeah.
Thank you guys, for the genuine medical advice. I was mostly just trying to make a joke that you guys are old.
I got that.
That's not a joke. That's the truth. That's a fact of the matter. Yeah.
And I hope that you go in, and I hope the doctor has really goddamn big sausage fingers and just fucking pours that shit out for you. Hey, speaking of which, do you think Jesus would have worn a mask during the corona? Speaking of anal shit,
probably. Yeah, actually, I think he probably would have.
Render to Caesar what is Caesar's, bitch.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he probably would have wherever it was required, but outside of that, I think maybe he would have helped the people that needed help.
Yeah.
But anyway, to give you a serious answer.
Yeah.
You don't think he made it required for the disciples?
Right?
Do I think? That's a good question. Actually, would he have required?
Not if
it's a group of 10 or more.
Not if they kept social distancing in place.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good.
Only on
the
boat.
Question. Only on the boat.
Only on the boat. That was speaking of prostates. Would Jesus wear a mask?
Yeah.
Anyway, where else are you going, Joey?
I'm going nowhere.
I got in trouble when I was a kid. I remember because I made a joke that Jesus probably farted like glowing gold dust. And I got told that was fucking heresy.
I thought that you were just gonna say that you made a joke that Jesus farted, and I was like, he was with there were 13 guys wandering around together.
Right.
People.
He was like, yo, Peter, pull my finger.
Right.
Hey, you want the Holy Ghost? Pull my finger.
Yeah.
That's how we blew the storm away.
I used to call Joey Storm.
Do you think he ever caught any of the disciples jerking off?
It had to happen.
I don't know. According to Christianity, fucking masturbation is a sin.
According to Catholicism, it's a sin.
Most denominations will say that.
I've never heard that.
You can't jerk off without lust. Is the justification behind
I'll give you that. But what if you're I've never heard that you can't jerk off without lust, but I've heard that most of it is based in lust, for sure.
Yeah,
pornography.
But no, most Christian denominations will frown upon masturbation.
Okay.
Yeah, major denominations. I've heard it so much. Like when they have their sexual purity classes. I'm like, well, shit, if I don't jerk it, I'm going to fucking come all over my goddamn sheets. What's the fucking difference? I'd rather do it myself and just have to use the tissue or run it down the flush them babies down the drain.
So hold on a minute. We had this discussion 2 weeks ago with Easy. and he said to Easy, do you jerk off in the shower or whatever? Because it's easy. You just aim it right at the drain and you're good to go, or something like that.
I just fucking hit the fucking sides. You can still rinse it.
Sure, but hold on a minute. You're taking out the no cleanup thing. Sure, it's a quicker cleanup, but you still have to go out of your way to clean. But I said something about,
because if you don't, you get like sticky fucking hair and shit.
Sure, but I'm saying crispy. I said something about jerking off on the toilet, and he said that you just basically you cap it with toilet paper.
That's an easy, not cap.
But I said, why not just aim it down into the toilet? And he said, how do you do that?
How do you aim your dick down when you have a fucking erection you're jerking off?
Do a little lean.
That's a lot of leaning.
But that's what I said.
My fucking head.
You slide to the back. You sit on the toilet backwards because you're a cool guy. and you slide to the back and you lean forward.
I don't, dude. I'm telling you, fucking erect. It's like this shit. It's pointed up. Like that's how I've come in.
Okay, I don't think it's supposed to be like that.
Yeah,
but I'm
not like straight up against my body, but enough of a fucking straight up that.
But you can point it down.
No.
How else do you do the wheelbarrow position?
You got to get like a semi for that shit to happen. Dude, how else do you think I fucking come in my own mouth and on the goddamn wall behind me?
That's because you're laying down. That's because you're laying down. I have never once come in my own mouth.
You're missing out.
I'm missing for sure. Oh my God.
It's hard to clean that shit out of the edge of your glasses.
Is it?
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Strictly no to shower.
No to the shower.
No to shower.
What if you're the only person that lives there?
Okay, here's the thing. I had my roommate in college. He had like one of his dorm mates was really bad about jerking it in the shower and would not clean up.
Ooh.
So you would just get in the shower in the morning and like step in that shit. So as soon as we moved into our house, he was like, "None of that shit. Do not ever do it." And now I can't do it.
Huh. That's interesting.
Yeah. Instant conditioning.
Yeah.
Huh.
So I found out though, like, so, you know, I piss in the shower, and I always say you never trust somebody that claims they don't pee in the shower.
Yeah,
they're
for
full
sure.
of shit. They're lying.
You ever peed on your wife in the shower?
Not on purpose.
Really?
Not in the shower.
Well, she doesn't know it was on purpose. I have to be careful what I say because I'm talking about Gabe's mom.
So, like, you know, the new house, the shower, it's like we have a massive fucking shower, and it's got the
I haven't been invited over yet, so.
It's got the drain in the middle of the shower instead of one of those things. So
what the fuck?
Everything kind of drains into the middle, which is fine, except, like, we clean the bathroom. Like, why does it smell like piss in here?
It's like the big showers on vacation.
We keep cleaning it, keep cleaning, like, we keep the bathroom clean. It's like, why does it smell like piss? It's because if you don't aim right at the drain specifically, it's not like a normal shower that's slanted that just all runs
so whoever put the shower in didn't do it right. You're supposed to rake it toward the drain.
And it is, except on the edges, like whatever. So you know,
you got to get like a squeegee for it.
Yeah, exactly. But like, so piss had got in the corner. I was just like, I just let that shit fucking fly because it's a huge
you're
shower.
washing up and just wherever it goes, it goes.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I get you. Yeah.
So now when I pee in the shower, I just kind of aim towards the drain a little bit, and it's all fine.
Yeah. Oh God. Okay. You want to take a quick break?
Yeah, sure.
All right, Parker. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back.
All
right. So,
I this time I pledge the first part of this to let you get to wherever the fuck you're going before I start chiming in.
What? I'm not going anywhere right now.
Obviously. That's why I interrupt, because you're never really going anywhere.
Genius! I build robots for fun.
All right. Point taken.
Can you get to the left nipple?
Been there and back.
So, Parker, we thought we might talk about movies for a little bit, just because you guys did a lot of movie talking on the Sad Bois.
What if they want to talk about movies on their podcast?
They can still talk about movies on their podcast.
I doubt anybody's going to listen to these back to back, I suppose.
No, they may not listen to them back to back, but they may listen to them and then a couple of days later listen to us.
Yeah. Or they're like, man, that was such a goddamn good episode. I've got to listen to this other one.
Like, how many listeners did you guys average per episode?
We were in like I want to say we had about 60-ish.
Yeah, it's better. Yeah. It's more than we have.
Episode. Some of them definitely like blew up more. Weirdly enough, a lot of our earlier episodes had like were in the hundreds of listens and stuff. But
we find that periodically we get massive spikes. Mm-hmm. Like we've had a couple of different times where over the span of a weekend we end up with an extra 150 to 300 listens, like spread out over all episodes. Mm-hmm. So, Anchor that we host through they only track listens within the first 30 days of an episode. So you get a very skewed number of what your estimated audience is. But
They're owned by Spotify, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, so we thought we'd talk about movies a little bit, just for the hell of it. So Steven doesn't typically like some of the same movies that I like, and he likes some movies that I can't stand. Like, he really likes the movie Waterworld.
Oh, fucking Waterworld, man. I love that goddamn movie.
Mad Max did it better.
There you go. See?
Mad Max didn't have Kevin Costner.
You're right about that. Speaking of Kevin Costner, have any of you watched the show Yellowstone?
No.
So it's set in modern times, but he's the owner of a ranch out in Wyoming. I think it's Wyoming. Anyway, it's a good movie. It's a good movie. It's a good show. It's on Paramount Network, so it's like completely uncensored.
You have like the because see, I don't like when I watch shit, it's usually the same things that I've enjoyed watching. Every now and then a new show that comes out, but like I don't watch that much new shit.
It just depends. Like, the only reason I started watching Yellowstone is because Kevin Costner is in it.
Really? I think Kevin Costner is horrible. I hate Kevin Costner.
You're insane. No. And I know you don't really truly believe that. You may believe some form of that.
I believe some form of that.
You have some form of that you believe, but no, I think Kevin Costner is great. I don't think he's
no Nick Cage.
Well, for sure.
He's no Nick Cage.
He's not a sexy cat. I'm a cat. No, he's... have you got to that episode of Community yet, Parker? The Nick Cage episode?
That's like season 4 or 5, I think.
Right.
Yeah, it's... Okay, well...
does he show up in it?
You'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, you have to wait and see. Well...
I hit the wrong button. I'm still here, though.
Yes, you did.
That was just my video.
I like your picture.
Yeah, I know. That was old school.
That was a Broken Fitz picture.
Was it? I thought that was a Stephen Bryan picture.
No.
Okay, so anyway, what's the most recent movie you've seen, Parker? New or old? What's the most recent movie you watched? Whether it's new or old, you've seen it before or not. What's the most recent movie you watched?
I don't know if it counts as a movie, but Hamilton on Disney Plus.
God,
that was the most recent thing that I've watched.
It doesn't count as a movie, but all right.
Does not count as a movie.
No, it's not a movie. It's somebody pointing a camera at a musical on the stage.
But still, though,
if you had said Chicago, I would have given it to you because that was actually made to be a movie.
I mean, that's that. I've watched It's pretty freaking amazing. I hope
that it burns when you say that.
It does. I used to give Gabe so much crap for like listening to it. I just didn't understand the concept that it was like straight through the music, straight through, no talking, and it's pretty freaking good. I liked it.
That's
and
why
then
I call
watched
it a musical. Okay. All right.
No idea. I had no idea.
I've not watched it. I'm sure I will at some point. You know, being a journalist, I've got to watch it at some point.
Right. I also watched Silence of the Lambs for the first time.
Okay, what'd you think about that?
My mind was blown. It was so fucking good. So good.
Yeah.
I don't, and I love true crime. I don't know why I've never like gone out of my way to watch it, but Anthony Hopkins in that is like insane. Yeah, incredible acting.
What about a new movie that you've watched recently? Like something that's come out in the last, let's say, 3 years. What's the most recent new movie you've watched?
Oh, man.
You guys are gonna. This is very on brand for me, but the new Scoob movie.
Oh my
Scooby-Doo. the new Scoob.
All right.
It's pretty awesome. It's pretty good. I enjoyed it.
Is it good because it's nostalgia, or is it good because it's actually good?
Totally nostalgia.
Okay.
Totally nostalgia.
It's like Goonies. Goonies is not a great movie, but from a nostalgia perspective, I love that movie.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. They had one of the like old Hanna-Barbera villains. I can't remember his name, but that was fun.
The old man.
It was weird. It wasn't something like that.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a typical like mask reveal sort of movie.
So let me ruin Scooby-Doo for you. Scooby-Doo is super misogynistic because the two females in the show, one is just strictly there to be the hot chick, and one is there to be the chick that no one really believes at first, and then she's right. So, and then also all of the villains are men. So there you go.
No, not all the villains are men.
All the good ones.
That's fair. That's fair.
I'm just kidding.
So if let me ask you guys, since you're more of the pop culture guys, if you could pick one movie or TV show to be remade into a movie that hasn't been so far, what would that pick be?
Oh, easy. I mean, that's an easy answer for me.
Yeah.
Can you say the question one more time? Are you talking about like a reboot, or are you talking like
to be? Oh, let me say
property that hasn't been a movie yet.
Either
into a movie. Okay.
Either, whatever.
Whoa.
I would kind of like to see a Goonies remake, actually.
Okay.
Strongly disagree.
Do you? I'm just thinking along the lines of, and this is something I've never watched, but along the lines of Stranger Things, and then the reboot of It, or remake of It.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just think that they could do it good. But I mean, the effects and everything else could be good. But I still, even though it's not a great movie, I still like Goonies. It's just something about that one scene where he goes, "Hey, you guys."
But see, that's the thing. If they remade it, they wouldn't be able to get away with basically a mongoloid retard. It would have to be some other.
I don't know.
Did you see Midsommar?
Yeah.
They kind of did.
You mean Midsommar?
Yeah,
oh, my bad.
I'm just saying, say it or don't say it. But that
well, it's
doesn't make
Swedish,
any sense.
I think, so it's pronounced Midsommar.
Oh my God!
What are you doing over there?
You'll find the fuck out.
Okay, all right.
Just back the fuck off.
So,
from
what, you guys? What do you think, Gabe and Parker? What would you like to see either remade or turned into a movie for the first time?
I have my answer ready to go.
Well, then fucking
you
spit
want
it
to
out.
go?
man.
Go ahead, Parker. Go ahead,
Whatever.
Parker.
I just didn't want to.
If you've not learned yet, we just speak when we want to.
Have you guys seen Atlantis: The Lost Empire, the Disney cartoon? It's like this steampunk underground sort of adventure thing. I think it would be incredible as like a Disney Plus 8-episode
live action or animated?
Yeah, live action.
Okay.
Live action.
Okay.
Give a little more backstory to some of those characters. I think they could do it, and just do one season.
So who do you want to do that?
Who would I pick to direct or act or all that jazz?
Whatever. Just like the Mandalorian was. I can't think of his name all of a sudden.
Pedro Pascal?
No.
John Favreau?
The
John Favreau.
Who's happy? Yeah, John Favreau.
Yep.
Yeah. Who I would have never in a million years guessed that he was good behind the camera like that. Would have never guessed
John Favreau?
that. Yeah.
Until when?
Until Iron Man.
Okay.
I would have never guessed before that, even though he was behind the camera on
Swingers, right?
Swingers.
Yeah,
which is a great movie. I just figured he got lucky, but
He's good.
But also, I didn't watch Swingers until Iron Man had already been out.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't watch Swingers until then.
Have you seen Chef?
No,
that's a good fucking movie.
It is. It really is.
That's what I hear. It doesn't appeal to me.
Because
but I'm sure
because
I'll
it's
watch
not
it at
in
some point.
Yeah.
Why aren't you into it?
Because Kevin Costner's not in it, and because no, I'm just kidding. I don't know. It's just something. The poster for it turned me off as soon as I saw it. I was like, I don't care anything.
This is why we don't
that.
agree on a lot
The
of movies.
poster?
You're right. Yeah, it's just something about it. When I see it on Netflix, the logo they have for it, when I put it up there, it just doesn't appeal to me. Like, I only watched one episode of that chef show that Jon Favreau does. I can't think of what it's called.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
But it's a reality show.
It's not enjoyable.
Well, I only watched the one episode that Bill Burr was on because Bill Burr was on there.
Right.
And that was enjoyable. But the only enjoyable thing about it to me was Bill Burr's reactions to shit.
Right. See, you give me shit about my movie taste, but in reality, I can recognize when it's a shitty movie. Like, Demolition Man is my favorite movie of all time. I watch the movie all the fucking time. But I can recognize the garbageness in that movie. It's one of those movies to me that was it's so bad, and not intentionally bad. Like, it was in its prime, was oh, fuck yeah, Demolition Man, but it's awful. But I love it so much.
Well, I mean, there are movies like that I like and I will watch from time to time. Mortal Kombat one from the 90s. Like say that's an awful movie.
See, I'd watch Street Fighter with
Street Fighter again. Yeah. I watched it about 6 months ago. I mean, I'll watch it. It's so bad. Even the special effects when M. Bison is like floating around toward the end of the movie, and it's clearly robotic that they're moving him back and forth on, but it's just something about it. Yep. I watched.
Have you guys seen?
I watched Rambo: Last Blood last week. It's not a good movie.
No.
But it was every bit of Rambo that I wanted.
See, I disagree with that. Like, to me, it didn't feel like a Rambo movie. It felt like all the campy fucking 80s, 90s action movies that like Rambo-esque. Well, but to me, it was missing the heart and soul of
it felt to me like Rambo had aged, is the thing. That's the thing for me.
See, there's a few things like when he had the whole underground shit. I'm like, come the fuck on.
But that's what felt like an aged Rambo that just lives on this little ranch thing. That's just how it felt.
Because the whole thing about Rambo, he was not an intelligent person. Sure. He was a badass and he was resourceful because of his army training, but that's what he did. Like, he wouldn't have thought to build a whole underground tunnel system just in case.
Oh, I disagree because in First Blood,
I disagree.
He thought to cover himself in mud to not be visible to the other guys. That's pretty smart.
In the army, they don't teach you to fucking dig caverns to do blacksmithing in.
No, but I mean, things do evolve.
Whatever.
He's like a doomsday prepper. And that totally is on brand for Rambo.
Doomsday prepper, yes. Prepper. Giant cavern system under a ranch, no. There's a big fucking...
Okay, I did think like,
where did he get the structural engineering knowledge to build a goddamn tunnel system under a fucking ranch? Tell me that.
Being in Vietnam and seeing the tunnel systems there.
They didn't dig tunnel systems there.
There were no tunnels in Vietnam?
No, there were tunnels. There were tunnels.
All right.
The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers.
You're trying to say Vietnamese people aren't smart enough to build tunnels?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm glad we can agree on something.
The Vietnamese dug tunnels is because they were forcing slave labor to build said tunnels.
Sure, but they still were able to do it, and he would have seen some of those tunnels.
Not how they were constructed.
You don't think he would have ever been in a tunnel? No, because
he was too busy being in them and understanding how to build them or I've been in lots of houses. I couldn't build a house from scratch.
You couldn't?
With a lot of YouTube videos, maybe, but no.
I feel like a house is so much different than a tunnel, though.
Yeah, you gotta have load-bearing walls and all that stuff.
How the fuck? Okay, Parker, describe to me how to build a fucking tunnel system. You think it's just
20 feet? You put a support beam around.
Yeah. It's something like that.
Yeah, you have to know fucking soil type, composition, the type of...
I mean, think about all of the booby traps that he made in Rambo First Blood.
Right.
You don't think that man could figure out how to build a tunnel. Trial and error-wise, I mean, he's 90 years old. You don't think he figured out over the last 20 years how to build a tunnel? Okay, so I agree that the extent of the tunnel and how vast it was on the property...
That's what I'm talking about.
You just said the tunnels in general, but I'm talking about...
There's a lot of tunnels.
There's a ton. The amount of tunnels and how intricate it was, I agree with. But the fact that he knows how to build a tunnel and a small tunnel system...
It wasn't a small...
I know, I agree. The size of the tunnel system, I don't buy into. But the fact that he could build a tunnel system, I completely buy into.
Do you think he contracted the workout?
No.
Okay, then take the time from the last Rambo to the time to Last Blood and tell me you could have dug that goddamn tunnel system in that amount of time by himself, by hand, by the fucking whatever.
Maybe he hired Elon Musk. Elon Musk, tell me that Elon Musk wouldn't go and work with somebody like Rambo. Just
He's
because
gonna do some weird shit no matter what.
Did you see the shorts that he made for Tesla? It was a beautiful thing.
No, but I saw him on Jay Leno's Garage a few weeks ago, and he's every bit of Elon Musk. Like Jay Leno said, why does your new car need rocket thrusters? He's like, why doesn't it need rocket thrusters? Like, because it's badass. Like,
well, you got a point there. He randomly put on Twitter the other day, like, who wears short shorts? We wear short whatever. And then, like, a few hours later said, we're going to make short shorts for Tesla. And then,
that's funny.
Like, the next day on their website, he posted, hey, these limited edition Tesla short shorts are now available, whatever. And then, like, 5 minutes later, he said, well, goddamn, we broke the internet.
Yeah. I mean, but that's what's so great about Elon Musk is because he can do stupid shit like that. But then he can also launch a rocket into space and then land the thing back on a drone ship.
Yeah.
That's the great thing about it.
Yep. Well, I feel like he's a lot like
he's a modern day Rambo with technology. He is. He's a technological Rambo.
Speaking of amazing,
I wouldn't
movies,
be surprised if he didn't have a tunnel system around his property.
Do you know what they fully announced? Well, it's a Hyperloop. Do you know what they officially announced? A Demolition Man 2.
I know you told me that
Sylvester
before.
Stallone.
Yes. That's fine. Sylvester Stallone is legitimately almost 80 now.
Yeah.
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 I just can't see him like outside of being Sylvester Stallone though. Mm-hmm. Every time I see a movie that he's in, I'm just like,
I mean, he is Sylvester
Stallone.
Oh,
it's just Sylvester. I know that, but he is one of those actors I cannot separate like him as a person to like his character. Well,
so
like Expendables.
Yeah.
Like those movies, he's just Sylvester Stallone.
Those are just fun, bad movies. That's it. They're just fun, bad movies.
See, I don't even think they're bad movies. I just think they're fun, like action, brainless movies.
Yeah, brainless. That's a better term.
Because there's nothing you can really pick out and be like, oh, that's really bad. It's just like, well, it is the Expendables.
Sure.
But I did like it. I thought the first one was the weakest of the three only because it took itself really seriously comparatively, and then the second two did not.
Well, it's like Sharknado. I mean, I think it tried to be a good movie at first, and then finally realized, we can make millions upon millions by just accepting what we are and doing it. And they've had like 7 of them.
Yeah.
Did we get Gabe's answer for a remake, by the way?
Not yet, no.
All right, I got 2.
All right.
A first one just because I recently watched like the newest version of this movie and it was fucking awful. Fantastic Four.
Yeah, there's never
and we're
been
gonna
a good
get we're gonna get a Fantastic Four, and it's gonna be great. Hopefully,
if Sony would give up the goddamn rights to Marvel for the movie, then yes.
Well, Marvel has it now.
Okay,
because it was 20th Century Fox, I think.
Was it Fox?
I think it was Fox that had it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the one that Jessica Alba was, the only redeeming factor was that Jessica Alba was in it.
That scene where she's on the bridge and she goes invisible.
Yeah.
Well, what about what the fuck's his name? Captain America playing Human Torch.
Yeah. Flame on.
Both Human Torches have been redeemed by the MCU.
That's true. So that's what I was going to say. Who has had the opportunity to play 2 different superheroes? Playing one so poorly that was just a terrible Human Torch.
Ryan Reynolds.
Good answer. I hadn't thought about Ryan Reynolds.
I forgot about that.
Good answer. Yeah, he's the best. Yeah, never mind.
I'm jerking off to just saying his name right now under this table.
No, that's fine.
Yeah, and then Michael B. Jordan did Human Torch, but then he was Killmonger, so he went from like hero to villain.
Yeah, I want to know. I'm thinking hero to hero.
Will Smith.
Who? What was his 2?
Hancock,
yeah.
Deadeye or Deadshot or whatever.
Deadshot.
Yeah.
But that was a villain. Deadshot was a villain.
He's a bad guy.
That's why he was arrested. That's why he was in jail.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
You know that I've never watched Hancock.
You're not missing much.
Yeah, the only thing that makes me possibly want to watch it is that Jason Bateman's in it.
It was fun because I was in like middle school when it came out.
Right.
Well, it was the first superhero that I can think of that was like not a good person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but anyway,
it was the first time where people were like, "What if superheroes weren't awesome?"
Right.
And they just fucked everything up.
All right. So speaking of along that same sort of vein, did you guys watch Brightburn?
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen it.
Yeah,
that is
we talked about
awful
this.
movie.
Yeah.
Like it's the idea and the premise is great.
That's
but
what
the
I
movie,
said.
the idea and the premise is great, but the movie itself is not good.
It's just like a bad Superman.
No.
Right?
See, I thought the movie was great until the end. I feel like it unraveled. It all unraveled.
Well, I'm not
going to
say great. I thought it was good until the end.
Yeah.
It's like
you just said it was awful.
You're right.
What parts did you guys not?
The end
like
was
specifically
awful. The end is so bad. It's like this. They had this long drawn out thing that was like, this is decent. This could be great if they just progressed. And then all of a sudden they tried to cram all of the violence and all of the superhero powers in at the end, and it just didn't end.
See,
well.
it wasn't that part. It was just the actual ending itself. I thought in the movie,
and they left it open.
The big blow up of violence at the end was the best. It was like a good slow burn to that. I like that.
I thought that was actually one of my favorite movies to come out from last year. It was like on the top of my list. I just thought it was just so, not because it was like groundbreaking or innovative, but I just like enjoyed it all the way through. Even
it's a great premise.
Because I thought it was campy the whole time.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, awesome, campy, give me gross violence. And then they did that all the way through. And so I thought that.
Well, see, I didn't feel like it had gross violence all the way through. I felt like it had some violence, but then all of a sudden at the end they were like, we really need to fucking shock people. So they had the nude woman like ripped open inside the barn, and it's just like
best Elizabeth Banks movie.
I mean, I don't know, like she
Pitch
broke,
Perfect is good.
Pitch
Perfect is good.
Slither.
Okay, I forgot about Slither.
Slither's the best
not
Elizabeth
bad,
Banks movie.
but Pitch Perfect is great. Now, the rest of the Pitch Perfects, when she actually took charge of some of the writing and production of it, are not nearly as good.
2 was like...
It's okay.
Okay, it's like it's a sequel.
Sure,
it's okay. I haven't even seen 3.
As sequels go, it's not bad.
Yep.
I mean, because most sequels are just terrible. But as sequels go,
Empire
it's not
Strikes
bad,
Back.
but 3 is not good.
Let me throw you one more remake.
Please.
All right, go ahead.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
It's been remade like 7 times.
Don't give it to Michael Bay.
Yeah, for sure.
Michael Bay is one of the greatest producers, directors of our generation.
Yeah, but he fucks that movie in the asshole.
I'm joking.
Okay, I was like, whoa, dude.
As action-packed movies go, he's not bad.
I think Transformers was fun. Transformers was pretty sick.
Bumblebee was fucking
I didn't
awesome.
see
watch
Bumblebee because
Bumblebee.
it did not look good.
I haven't
in
even
the
watched
trailer.
all of
It
the
was
Transformers.
the best. The first one, Transformers, all right, and then the fucking Bumblebee was fucking great. Everything in between, you can fucking
Transformers 3 is worth a watch.
I've only watched Transformers 1 and 2.
Night?
No, Transformers
4?
3
Is it
is
Dark of the Moon?
Oh, that Dark Side
and
of
then
the
it
Moon,
goes to Last Night.
Yeah.
And then Bumblebee, right?
Yeah, Bumblebee's by far.
I haven't watched Bumblebee.
even with John Cena.
Oh yeah, I forgot
I'll
that
tell you,
Shia's not in it.
As an action star, John Cena's not great.
As a comedian now?
As a comedic
actor.
role, I mean, you look at Trainwreck,
Yeah,
which
he was
wasn't
so good in Trainwreck.
Yes, and Trainwreck is a good movie. It's not a great movie. It's better than mediocre.
Right.
I hear though that the newest, God, what's the director's name? God, why can I not think of his name? He was Trainwreck and 40-Year-Old
Was it
Virgin.
Judd Apatow?
Judd Apatow. I've heard that King of Staten Island is insanely
I've heard
good.
it's so good.
Yeah.
And I've heard that Bill Burr steals the show in that
I
movie.
refuse to pay $20.
Yes, because
That's
I was
the
so
thing.
excited to watch it, and I went to Amazon. And it was $20, and I was like, I can't do this.
You'd have to get a few people together
Yeah.
and everybody pitch in.
No,
for
there's another one. This was Palm Springs is the new one with Andy Samberg with from
I don't
Lonely
know
Island stuff.
this.
It's supposed to be pretty good.
I haven't heard of
It's
that.
it's free on YouTube or on YouTube, fucking Hulu.
So,
Gabe, have you not heard about, back to the TMNT though, Seth Rogen is rebooting a television series from, like, remember the animation from like 2007?
Yeah.
Like the best Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles animation. And Seth Rogen is rebooting a show or maybe like a movie that is that animation style for TMNT.
Ooh,
and he's like the executive producer.
See, I would like to see
So-
the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles remake in the vein of the shitty live action movie that was done in 19 fucking
The
whatever.
old ones?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like in that vein because it was more true to it was just the technology was fucking awful and the acting.
Yeah.
I mean, what was it? Corey Feldman that was in it, or the other Corey? Fucking one of the Coreys was
I think it was Feldman.
it?
I think he was in it. I could be wrong. I just watched those.
I almost think he
recently
was
for the first
Michelangelo's
time.
I think it was Michelangelo. Yeah. See, fucking, I just had my reboot. I would like to see a proper Back to the Future reboot.
Okay.
One that's
Yeah.
well done in the vein, like not trying to like modernize the style as much as just the feel of the movie, right? Because I mean, it's like Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd. You know,
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
a great team in the movie, but to just to kind of modernize
Michael J.
that
Fox
would be-
couldn't shift gears in that DeLorean anymore.
right? Well, no, he could. What's the term when you fucking skip a gear?
yeah, sure. yeah.
I want to see a better Jurassic Park franchise.
So it was Corey Feldman.
with Jurassic World, man. They fucked that
Yeah.
movie.
Corey
Fucking
Feldman
shit.
was Donatello.
I know people that swear by that movie, though.
Indy 5, it's happening.
I've heard about that, actually.
Indy 4 was awful.
Indy 4, I don't know what movie you're speaking of.
You're
right
crazy.
now. It doesn't exist.
Yeah, okay, that's what I was
doesn't
gonna say.
exist.
That guy like royally fucked over 2 franchises from our childhood.
Yeah, so
Oh my
Back to the
God.
Future is one for me, and I think that would be my big one.
Mm-hmm.
There aren't a lot of other things I would care about too much.
As far as remakes go,
this is a hot take, but I would personally love to see Lord of the Rings remade. Those movies are they're so good. I understand that, but I would love to see I wish that Amazon was just going ahead and rebooting.
Yeah.
And giving us completely different stories instead of like trying to world build further.
They unfuck the Hobbit. If they could unfuck and I realized the Hobbit became what it was because of the inconsistencies in Lord of the Rings. They had to fucking line it up, and so if they would like, I agree, that'd be good if they.
I only saw one of the Hobbit movies, the first.
The Hobbit movies were not great.
Yeah, I never saw any of them.
What if they did it as a series though instead of movies? What if they
like a Mandalorian-esque type?
Sort of.
And they started with doing one, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, Amazon's doing a Lord of the Rings series.
Yeah, that was what I was saying. They're going back and like doing like the Silmarillion, so like the First Age. This sounds so fucking nerdy.
No, dude, I've said the Silmarillion would be great if they did it right. Otherwise, it would be boring as fuck. Because it's essentially like reading the Old Testament if you read the Silmarillion.
Yeah. It's just like lineage and all that stuff.
You start talking about reading those books, I have no clue. I've not read any of them.
Yeah.
If they just went ahead and remade them, though, the movies could still stand on their own as being great. But if they fuck this up, it's like, well, you just undid your world a little bit. Kind of like they did with The Hobbit.
What the fuck happened to Peter Jackson anyway? Like, he was hot shit for a while.
He lost a shitload of weight.
Yeah, it's true. Like Jonah Hill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, speaking of Lord of the Rings and that kind of thing, have you guys watched the show F is for Family on Netflix?
I've started it. I've seen a couple episodes.
It's good. It's a good show. But the oldest son in that show is in a band, and whatever band he looks up to is a Led Zeppelin-y type band, so they have a lot of those references in it, and so there's a lot of references to like Mordor type stuff and things like that in the band and in the songs that his band tries to write, and it's kind of funny. I mean, I don't know, whatever.
That sounds hilarious.
It is very funny. It's a good show, actually.
I'm laughing.
It's a good snapshot of at least what I hear was like growing up in the 70s.
Like F is for Family has its bright moments, but as a whole, it grates on me. And I love Bill Burr.
Really?
Love Bill Burr. But like, I don't know, the episodes are boring for the most part. It's kind of like our podcast, right? Really fucking boring with moments of brilliance.
I just, from what I hear, is it's a great snapshot of what it was actually like being a kid in the 70s. Yeah. And so, boring or not, like I look at that and go, holy shit, I can't imagine having grown up in the 70s. Okay. But anyway.
Ooh, a reboot of Jaws would be sweet if they did it right.
If they did it right. Because if you give me the Meg, fuck off. Because the Meg was a fun movie.
It was so fun, but it was
a fun movie.
Good.
It was not good.
Yeah.
If you're gonna redo a movie, you better fucking swing for the fences and land it, because if you fuck over something, you're never gonna hear the end of it. Because Jaws is a near perfect film.
Yeah, I want to watch a buddy cop movie with Jason Statham and Ryan Reynolds.
That wouldn't be bad, but even better,
I would jerk off to that
Hugh
goddamn
Jackman
movie.
and Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, the other is it the other guys, the nice guys?
The other
guys with Mark Wahlberg and Will Ferrell.
No,
not Will Ferrell. No, Will Ferrell is
Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds did them. No, it was. I'm sorry, that was Ryan Gosling. Never mind.
Ryan Gosling and
that was.
No, but the other guys is Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, he's talking about. I think it's called The Nice Guys.
It's he was in Les Mis.
Oh, The Nice Guys. Yeah. Okay.
That was really good.
Yeah. The Mark Wahlberg Will Ferrell movie is the other.
Yes.
Russell Crowe. Yeah, the Will Ferrell movie is actually a pretty good movie.
Which Mark Wahlberg is another one of those things. Anything outside of comedy for the most, like he's great as a
Ted. Yeah. He's insane in Ted.
And it was with the boxing movie he was in. It wasn't bad,
but
as a whole, as a serious actor, he's. Yeah. Four Brothers actually wasn't bad.
Four Brothers is not bad. Yeah. No. So, what do you think? Remake?
I just goddamn said it.
No.
Cunt.
I get that, but like legitimate. I don't take that seriously.
Back to the fucking future.
I don't take that seriously.
Why?
I don't know. It's just something about that doesn't sound right. That's fine. Whatever. Go ahead.
Jesus Christ. What is? Okay.
I would like to see the Man with No Name trilogy remade.
No, fuck that. Fuck remaking anything Clint Eastwood did.
Really?
Yeah, fuck that.
What if he was behind it? What if he was directing it?
No. Have you watched any modern? The Westerns have kind of started making a little bit of a and they're not.
Well, The Mandalorian. I never watched The Mandalorian.
Space Western.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a space Western. But I'm just saying, I did not watch The Mandalorian because for me, Star Wars stuff is like I can take it or leave it. Like I enjoy the original 3. I'm not a hey, you got to take that top off before you take a drink, buddy. I enjoy the original 3, but if I never saw them again, I wouldn't be sad. But when actually it was Steven and Gabe, both of you were like, no, watch The Mandalorian. It's a Western in space.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And I watched it. Fucking fantastic. It's a great show. Like it's so good.
And apparently season 2 is just batshit crazy. That's what Pedro Pascal's been saying.
Remotely, I don't get excited about a lot of things to come out on TV, but I'm kind of excited about that to come back on. I just hope that it doesn't. Oh God!
Can we get a Cosby Show remake for Christ's sakes?
A Cosby Show? Yeah. Who would play Dr. Huxtable?
Bill Cosby.
I don't know that would
work. He'd be like the patriarch of the family that he's doing. What if they're visiting him in fucking prison and shit?
So like, what if he's not in the show, but he is in the opening dance sequence and he's dancing in his his prison onesie? Or whatever.
Or they could do a hologram like Community.
And he's got other prisoners like his backup dancers. I did love that moment in Community when Jeff says to Malcolm Jamal Warner, whatever his character, Andre. He says something about a nice sweater, and he was like, yeah, it was a gift from my dad. I did like that.
Yeah,
I did like that. But how do we feel about Bill Cosby? Let me just ask that, because you guys are young and you guys typically have differing opinions than people our age on that kind of stuff.
Right.
We can all agree, I think, that what he did was atrocious.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Right.
But can you guys at your age group, can you guys separate the person from the art?
Yeah. For anybody,
like, would I go back and watch The Cosby Show?
Yeah. Well, anything like
is that what you're asking?
His stand-up or anything, because I own a vinyl album of his special, Bill Cosby himself, which if you've never watched or heard that stand-up special, it is as close to perfect of a stand-up special as has ever been created. But anyway.
Yeah, but I mean, not even Bill Cosby, like Kevin Spacey, fucking
Michael Jackson,
Weinstein.
Yeah. It's tough for me. Well, I don't think that Michael Jackson did it, but
okay.
That's a whole different.
Have you watched Neverland?
I don't want to because I don't believe that shit.
Okay.
God forbid we get presented with facts.
It's
believe all victims unless it's pertaining to Michael Jackson.
It's tough for me, I think. Because like I grew up watching like Cosby Show and shit like that,
right.
And Baby Driver was fucking.
That's what I was gonna say.
Awesome. I haven't watched it since that shit came out.
Are you telling me you can never watch Baby Driver again? You're not a big fan of Baby Driver, though, are you?
I liked it. I thought it was a really good movie. I didn't think it was as amazing as some people did, but I thought Ryan Gosling's movie Driver was superior. Different type of movie.
I disagree with that.
Yeah, but it was a good movie. I liked it all right.
It's like, it's Chris D'Elia just coming out, like all that shit coming out.
Yeah.
I loved that. We watched his new stand-up and then like weeks later all this shit came out. So that was
the stand-up that your mom and I went to see him a year ago, and that's what he was doing. He was gearing up for that special, to film that special.
And I mean, like I can say, wow, that's so good, but
and I'm not a huge Chris D'Elia fan. Like
that anymore.
I watched that special on Netflix, and it was hard for me to continue to watch it on Netflix. Not because none of this stuff had come out yet, but watching him on TV is so much harder than watching him in person. Yeah. It's so much like his energy is annoying. And it takes a good 10 to 15 minutes for him to really get into everything where he's not just like, oh, look at me.
That's true.
I mean, you guys are here. I mean.
A lot of people hate that he laughs at, like, really laughs at, like, his own shit.
I don't mind if you laugh at
I'm
your
into
own
that.
jokes,
like,
but like,
you should think your jokes are funny.
That doesn't, I mean, Dave Chappelle laughs at his own stuff sometimes, and that doesn't bother me. But seeing him live, like, so much respect for what he does live, because it's a completely different feeling live than on TV, and it was good. But
so back to that question, how do you guys feel about that shit? Like when artists do atrocious things, can you go back and rewatch or support, or I shouldn't say support, but still enjoy the art that they made in light of shit they've done?
I think that I can say like, hey, that was really good, and like done really well. I don't necessarily think that I will go out of my way and
not go out of your way,
or like, and you know, it's like,
because you know, like Weinstein, like his company produced so many fucking movies. Like if you boycotted the shit that he made, you wouldn't watch fucking many movies.
Yeah, you wouldn't watch any Quentin Tarantino movie
right.
ever again, except maybe Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't think that I would go back and like watch, you know, like any of Chris D'Elia stand up or anything like that, like that kind of stuff.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm in the same camp for sure. I think mostly just because like knowing kind of like the concept, like that they did something really bad.
So you're telling me you're never going to watch The Usual Suspects ever again,
or American Beauty?
I've never seen it. I've never seen Usual Suspects.
I've never seen either of those
The Usual
movies.
Suspects.
Have you seen American Beauty?
I've seen American Beauty.
Okay.
The Usual Suspects is such. If you like any kind of movie that's gangster or heisty type movie.
Who is Kaiser Soze?
Who is Kaiser Soze? Mm-hmm. Oh my God, you've got to watch. Yeah. You've got to watch The Usual Suspects.
Yeah,
it's so good.
Yeah. I think for us it's different because like I have no issues with like I can say hey what they
you don't care about the shit Cosby did. You think it's fine if that's what you wanted to do back there.
No, point being like
kidding.
I don't give a shit what they did on their personal lives. Like what they made is what they made, and that doesn't change the brilliance of whatever they did.
I agree,
because like brilliant people, like that doesn't change the fact like Bill Cosby or fucking like Kevin Spacey, like him fucking essentially raping fucking other like young actors has nothing to do with how phenomenal of an actor he was.
So let me ask you this then.
Okay.
Let me ask you this specifically.
Okay.
I think I know Parker and Gabe's answer, but I'll ask him in a second. If Bill Cosby went back out, gets out of jail, because there's an appeal in place. If he gets out of jail and he goes back out on tour, would you buy a ticket and go see Bill Cosby live?
No, but not because of what he did, but just because I'm not a fan of Bill Cosby stand-up.
You're not?
No.
That did not.
I don't think he's bad. I just don't enjoy it that much.
Okay.
But
Louis C.K.
Yes, I would see Louis C.K. in a heartbeat. Like I have if the stories of what he did were true, they're fucked up, but he didn't fucking rape anybody.
You're right, and at least everything I've heard, he did ask permission.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not justifying any of it, but I love Louis C.K. Like
well, we have to be able to separate what Bill Cosby did into things like Louis C.K. or what's the Saturday Night Live guy that was a senator or whatever?
Fucking no.
Fuck, what was his name?
But I mean, but people will still. Parker just disappeared.
Parker just left.
Hey, there he's back.
Parker said, "Fuck, I can't be associated with this."
No. So here's the other thing. Like, if you take this shit into consideration, take Led Zeppelin. Still consider him the greatest band. People listen to him. Fucking Jimmy Page, fucking basically kidnapped a 13-year-old girl and held her captive till she was 18 and married her. Yeah,
shit. Basically.
Yeah, I'm painting with a broad stroke here, but essentially, like, yeah, he was banging.
She wanted to be there, but she was 13 also.
But she didn't go home and all that shit. He took her on tour with her and was banging this 13-year-old as a fucking 27-year-old man.
There's a shitload of songs back then that were...
Well, they also supposedly like gang banged the chick with a shark.
Yeah.
like Led Zeppelin did some fucked up shit, but nobody's like, I'm not listening to Led Zeppelin.
And they also stole some stuff.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I'm just talking about as far as sexual misconduct is concerned.
Oh, I think stealing the stuff is way worse. I am. You and I are in the same boat. Like I can separate the personal life from the professional life, and I don't know that I would buy a ticket to go see Bill Cosby. Right. If they were affordable, I would absolutely go see. If they were affordable, I would absolutely go see Louis C.K.
Yeah,
I'm also not one to spend like a Dave Chappelle ticket right now is like $200. Mm-hmm. I can't make myself pay $200 to go see Dave Chappelle. Right. I love Dave Chappelle, but
yeah, I'm just saying like I think it's different. Like it's I shouldn't even say generational, but I guess, like for a better word.
I think so. Yeah.
Would you go see Gabe? Would you go see Louis C.K.
I would struggle with it for a long time.
You would go and not tell anybody.
I think I would go see.
But
I just don't like Louis C.K.
Oh, you're not a fan of his anyway.
Yeah,
have you ever watched Horace and Pete's?
No, I have not.
You got to watch Horace. Have you ever watched Horace and Pete's? It's a 10-act play that he wrote, and it's on Hulu. It was recently on Hulu, but it's basically a 10-act play that he wrote, and they filmed it and cut it up into 10 episodes. It's really good. Well,
I don't know. I look at it as a lot of things. Like, I get, like, if you don't want to support it, don't support it. But
sure.
Like, I'm some stand-up in person's fine, but people say, well, I wouldn't go see Bill Cosby play, but you'll watch the fucking Cosby Show if it's on. You know what I mean? It's fucking hypocritical as shit. Because they're getting money from it either way. And that's how I think a lot of people look at it, is you're supporting these people financially that did these atrocious things. And maybe, but I enjoy it, and I'm selfish enough that I don't give a shit what he does in his personal life. If I enjoy it, I enjoy it. Like the art side of it. Like half the musicians and shit that are out there, especially from the 60s and 70s, had gross misconduct with underage people.
Well, you just look at songs. I mean, Kiss had a song, what was it, Justine 17? And even the Beatles, I was going through some Beatles songs the other day, it says, she was just 17, if you know what I mean. That's the opening line of the song.
Right.
So there's a lot of statutory rape rock out there.
Yeah, but in all fairness with that, as far as like, it was pretty common in like 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. If you had a 15-year-old daughter and she was dating a fucking college guy, it was like, oh fuck yeah, she's going to be provided for. She's making some money. It was they had a much different view on quote unquote statutory rape. Well, you have to
differentiate between times,
right?
Yeah. And intent as well. I mean, I don't know.
No, I agree. But either way, but like Aziz Ansari, he got fucked over with that allegations. But when you read the lady's article, it was just a shitty date.
Yeah.
Like, not saying that other people haven't done whatever, but like the things he was accused of was just being a creepy dude, but not necessarily.
I don't even consider it a creepy dude. I consider it just a guy that didn't know how to act on a date, really.
Yeah, well, I'm
just saying
a bad he's doing some weird shit. I'm just saying, if you read the account, I was like, yeah, okay, that's kind of fucking weird. Like, who starts sticking their fingers in people's mouths? Like, that's. But anyway,
you never stuck your finger in your wife's mouth?
Yeah, oh yeah. but not on a first date.
Oh.
Sounds like you've had very bad first dates.
Sounds like you haven't had a good first date.
Oh no, I've had some good first dates.
Yeah, I haven't had a first date since I don't think the 90s.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
My last first date, my last first date, you guys were probably in diapers still. Parker and Gabe were probably in diapers. And you were busy writing bubblegum pop rock.
Isn't that what everybody wants to say? My last first date was my wife?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I mean, it's whatever.
Well, technically my last first date was my wife, but prior to that there were many first dates.
I had a first date like 2 weeks ago.
Congratulations!
Oh, yeah? So,
is she pregnant?
What was his name? Oh, he beat me.
What was her name?
Both good roasts.
Who was
it? Can we get her Instagram handle?
Does she follow you on Instagram? Do you follow her on Instagram?
He just leaves the call.
Can we have her as a guest at some point?
Wow, that would be incredible.
We're still trying to get some of Parker's Tinder dates on here.
Or OnlyFans subscribers.
Why do they call him Parker? Oh, yeah.
Hunter, not Parker.
Yeah.
Did the date go great?
Was it good? How was the date?
It was pretty great. Yeah.
On a scale of Bill Cosby to Aziz Ansari, how did it go? Anthony Jeselnik. That's a better one.
Would you rate it on a scale of 3 fingers to 1 finger?
Oh, God.
Dear God, I hope she does not listen to this.
Let's be honest, she's probably not going to listen to this, although you should tell her to.
Yeah.
What's her first name?
Her first name is Hannah.
Hannah. With an A, like an A or an AH?
AH.
Oh. Okay.
Those are the worst kind of Hannahs.
What was it? I think it was it Jim Jefferson? Somebody said when you add an H to the end of a name that shouldn't have an H, you automatically add about 15 to 20 pounds. Some comedian said that. I can't remember who, but I'm just messing with you, Parker. Go ahead. Her name was Hannah.
And no, it was cool. We went on a...
No, go ahead. Sorry? Go ahead. You went on a what? Date,
we went on like a picnic hike.
Oh,
it was pretty fun. Yeah, I haven't had a first date since like 2016, 2015.
I thought you were going to say 26, and I was going to say you're not even 26 yet.
Is it like Always Sunny when you get far enough in the mountains, the date goes well because of implications?
Do you utilize the Dennis method?
I always utilize the Mac method.
Do you utilize the Dennis method? You don't know what the Dennis method is, do you?
I don't. No, I have no clue. I was just trying to laugh it off you guys, and you're like,
I got this.
That's fine. It's always I've got it already. I've got it right here. The Dennis method is DENNIS. D is for demonstrate value. You pretend to purchase medications for your ill grandmother, and then you engage physically by taking her on a cheap date to a closed restaurant with a backup plan of a pizza and a movie. Then you nurture dependence. So Dennis prank called her as an angry neighbor, threatening her life, and she grew to need him. And then he proceeded to neglect her emotionally. He continued to prank call her, but didn't show up for her, causing her to fall into emotional distress. Then you incite hope. You show up at her window, telling her that he was afraid to love and that she cured him. After having emotionally passionate sex, you sneak away in the middle of the night to never be heard from again. Which falls into the next line, which is separate entirely. So that's the Dennis method.
And then the Mac method is just move in after completion.
That's it. Yeah. So the Dennis method is demonstrate value, engage physically, nurture dependence, neglect emotionally, inspire hope, and separate entirely.
Yep.
That's the Dennis method. If you haven't watched Always Sunny in Philadelphia, you have a long number of seasons to get caught up with, but it's so good.
I will say legitimately, in my time in Hawaii, I was a master at the Mac method.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. You find women that have just been devastated by a breakup. That's when you swoop in. If you don't want a relationship and you just want all the good times, fucking just dive right in there.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, depending on what you're wanting, right? Just being the rebound consistently is the perfect place to be. Because the sex is fucking great because they're all like broken and angry. And then by the time they're ready for an actual emotional commitment, they've moved on to someone else.
So, speaking of, since we're talking about TV shows and movies, either of you guys watched Mythic Quest yet on Apple TV Plus?
I haven't. I know I need to.
It's so good.
Mm-mm. I haven't heard of it. What is this? What is this show?
So it's created by Rob McElhenney, Charlie Day, and Megan Gans. So Rob and Charlie obviously were involved in Always Sunny, still are, and Megan Gans was involved in Community. She's actually the person I think that called out Dan Harmon, who he apologized to during the height of the Me Too movement.
Yep.
But it's about a video game company who who had recently released a video game that became the most popular video game in the world. And
Modeled after World of Warcraft?
Yes. And they're in the process of making the final touches and releasing their expansion pack or whatever for the video game. And it's got Rob McElhenney and other people that I don't know their name, and I don't know what else I've seen them in aside from what's the guy's name? The guy who plays you hadn't watched it, have you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have. Yeah. What's the guy that plays the writer? They actually hired a writer for the game in the show.
Old dude. Yeah.
But anyway, and then it's got Danny Pudi, who played Abed in Community, playing the marketing guy who basically plays a completely opposite role of what Abed is, it's a good show. It really is.
Is the girl that plays Poppy not weirdly attractive?
Yes.
It's really strange.
Weirdly attractive.
Yeah.
And I'm not usually attracted to Asians. So
she's a Kiwi, dude.
I'm just
Kiwi.
No, I understand that. She's still Asian. She is still Asian. She just happens to be Asian and from New Zealand. So,
all right, fair.
I've been watching Friday Night Lights.
Oh my god.
So has your mom.
That shit is good.
She has been enthralled in Friday Night Lights.
So good.
And I see bits and pieces of it, and it's okay. My problem, any show that's set in the South or Texas or whatever, is the amount of terrible Texas accents in it.
Yeah.
Connie Britton is the only legitimately decent Texas accent, and even that crosses over into Southeast at times.
Yeah. The accents are sometimes a little weird, but
Parker's gone again.
That
just
is
muted his fucking video.
Like, I feel like we especially can relate very much to that show.
You probably can, yeah.
Because of Giles County.
Yeah.
Like, football is everything, and I also lived that, like, Friday night life. So,
because
the whole time I'm like, let's go. What a good pass. And I'm like, wait, this is choreographed.
Well, I mean, football in Giles County was, because we had at the time the largest football stadium in the state of Tennessee, and we were only a 2A school or whatever. But football in Knoxville, high school football that is in Knoxville, is not nearly as popular as it is in Giles County.
Oh yeah, well Lincoln County was the same way. In Fayetteville, there was a fucking huge Falcons.
I mean, it was.
They were state champs in 1996. It's 2001, but goddamn,
they
we
won
were the state champs.
So Giles County won the state championship while Gabe was
2008
eighth grade or freshman year or something like that. I mean, but yeah, I mean, like everybody packed the stands. I mean, it was insane. It still doesn't rival what Texas high school football is, but yeah, I can't get into it. Like, I see bits and pieces of it, but I just can't get into it.
Hey man, Lincoln County had that kid that was drafted to the Yankees straight out of fucking high school. Drafted by the Yankees, $1 million contract out of high school.
At one point, Lincoln County
then he threw it away because he missed his mom. Moved home and quit. I'm not even fucking with you.
No, I believe you. At one point, Lincoln County also had the most amount of STDs in a high school in the state of Tennessee as well.
In the U.S.
In the U.S.
They led the U.S. with STDs. Yep.
Yeah.
At least they got a record, you know?
Right. Hey, you remember the national news? This dude went in Fayetteville and shot that kid with the fucking rifle in the school parking lot in Lincoln County. You remember that? So I went to Sunday school with the kid that fucking did the shooting. And my ex-girlfriend was the one whose boyfriend got shot right in front of her because she was playing both of them, and one of them killed the other guy. And my initial thought when it happened was like, "It's what bitch gets for cheating on me."
Jesus,
I've been a callous motherfucker for a long fucking time. I was just nicer when I was
crazy
younger.
because you never went to public school, and at least not in Lincoln County.
Well, that's why she cheated on me, because I was a fucking shitty ass nerd ass homeschool kid.
That's funny. Oh my God!
I didn't know how to finger bang.
No, you're right.
Wasn't until that church camp trip of fucking 1999.
What a way to learn.
Do you know good and well that's what church camp was for when we were growing up? Is fucking finger banging bitches and yeah.
I learned in the back of a girlfriend's minivan. Her dad was a pastor.
Oh yeah, dude.
Pastors' kids, PKs,
they're the worst.
Yeah,
PKs,
they're the best, depending on how you're looking at
it. Well, anal doesn't count because God's not
you're
looking.
Right. You're right.
Yeah.
So, oh God.
Oh shit. That's a true thing, man. There's a lot of girls, especially it was a big thing in Catholic schools that a lot of people would say that anal doesn't count for losing their virginity. So they'd
we went to a Christian school. We heard that shit.
Yeah, take it in the old butthole.
Oh, in college. I was saying, where did you go to a Christian school? I forgot. In college.
And blowjobs.
So they went to Scott Stapp's alma mater.
Yeah.
So what was it like going to a Christian college, both of you?
I think me and Parker had very different experiences.
Probably. One of you's white, so for sure. Because
talking about Gabe, obviously.
Everyone knows white Southerners are God's chosen people.
Well, Jesus was a Caucasian, blonde hair, blue eyes.
Really. So was Santa Claus.
Yeah. I mean, I think for me, it was. It definitely wasn't good for my faith. I'll say that. It was not good for my faith. But I mean, overall, it was what it was. I mean, I would, if I could go back now and not have gone to Lee, I would have made that decision. Sorry to name drop, but I don't know. I don't really care that much. Yeah, I don't know. I think school in general is just kind of whack now after thinking about it and how much money you have to pay. Yeah.
Crack is also
just
whack.
Yeah. You're probably the director behind Reefer Madness, the remake, aren't you?
All right, so no. Okay, so I do have a legitimate question. So, and this is for both of you.
Okay.
How do you feel that going to a Christian college, even for a while, impacted your faith? Did it help it? Did it diminish it? Like, obviously, you both have been on very different paths since then. Mm-hmm. But how do you feel like that experience in going out of a church into a Christian college like affected you? Because I went to Bible school as well, so I'm just curious on what your answers would be.
Parker, if you didn't know, Stephen was at one point an ordained minister.
Full-time pastor.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Right on.
I banged no kids.
No, yeah, you weren't Catholic.
Evidently, I wasn't a very good pastor.
He wasn't Catholic. He was Episcopal. They just finger banged him.
Yeah.
I came in already very unsure about everything.
Okay.
Because we kind of grew up in church, but once I got to like high school, I was like, I don't know about all this, and also because I went from small town to Knoxville, Tennessee. Right. So,
which one I was gonna say, was it when you got in high school or when you got in your senior year here in Knoxville? It was
senior year was when I just kind of like my eyes opened and I saw so many different things, and I was like, okay, so the things that I've kind of been hearing don't really add up with how I feel, because like I have all these, I have gay friends now, and I know all these like just all these different things that, and I have friends.
Get it? You're woke.
I have friends that drink and smoke weed and all this, and now I kind of want to see what that's about. And so at some point in high school, I was just like, I don't know if I can be in this and also be doing like these things that I want to do. And then once I got to college, it was like, nah, fuck that shit. This is crazy.
You guys were also required to go to chapel a certain amount of times each week,
twice
right?
a week.
Yeah.
You had to go to like 70% of the chapels or something like that.
Didn't you almost get into some hot water academically because you didn't go as much as you were supposed to?
I was on chapel probation every fucking time. So, because I was just like, I'm not going to wake up at 9 a.m. and go do this. My class isn't until like 11. So,
I would venture to say your view or where your view comes from as far as how you currently view church and things like that is similar to mine, which is you've seen behind the curtain. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the bads. Like, there's definitely good stuff about church and Christianity. Like, when you really get down to what it actually is about, there's good stuff there. But seeing behind the curtain what actually happens in churches is what turns you off to it, the same as me. It's like it would be so hard for me to go sit under a specific denomination or pastor just because of what I've seen that goes on behind the scenes.
And I saw too much too young, for sure.
That's probably true. That's our fault.
But
we were the inner circle.
Yeah. And I saw too much of like, I went more of the party crowd in college. So the way that I was raised in church, those can't go together.
Well, so your mom and I like did all of our partying in our mid-20s before we got back into church heavy. Mm-hmm. And so then we saw behind the curtain, like we were youth pastors or co-youth pastors at one point. And so seeing all the behind the scenes stuff really, especially when the second pastor came into the church that we were at in Pulaski. The first pastor, I still, to this day, will say his heart's in the right place at whatever he's doing.
Wasn't that the good excuse, though, for any time somebody fucked up? It's like, well, their heart was in the right place.
No, I mean, sure, but
it was in the tip of their
knowing
dick,
the guy as well as I know him, his heart is in the right place.
Right.
I'm not saying he handles it the right way, but his heart's in the right place.
Right.
But it's a Church of God thing. I mean, you guys went to Lee, so it's a Church of God thing. Like, Church of God has so many man-made rules and regulations that it's insane.
Well, that's every denomination.
Sure, but I feel like, and maybe it's just because of what I experienced, that Church of God, to me, seems way worse.
Were you in the Assemblies of
little
God too,
culty?
right?
No, just Church of God.
And non-denominational.
We were
which is a big
Pentecostal
one.
and non-denominational before that, and then we were Church of God.
Right.
What about you, Parker? What caused you to be a heathen?
I think for me, well, I mean, I still consider myself very spiritual.
Spiritual and Christian aren't the same thing.
Well, I mean, actually, I would argue against that with Scripture, just because in James and Romans it talks about that religion is man-made, and that the only thing that really matters is loving God and loving people. And so I think going to a Christian school, I saw a lot of kind of what Gabe said, that man-made stuff, like rules and just stupid marks that you have to hit, like be a Christian or a believer. And I don't think that that's where it's at personally. Like, I think that that's like a huge miss. And so for me, the reason why I wanted to like come out here and be a part of church still around, because I think that there is so much BS that goes on behind the curtain, like you guys have said, and I just would rather be in the room instead of outside the room talking shit about what's going on inside the room, and at least try to, like, I don't know, just do it the right way, like you said.
And that's all the time we have
today. and Stephen, your rebuttal.
What's that? I'm not even gonna jump into that right now. I kind of like what Gabe said, that when you start getting really into it and you've kind of seen behind the curtain, even when you start getting out into the world, because I find that people that live in the Christian bubble reinforce their own worldview of how the world is and how the Bible affects it. But when you step outside of that bubble, you see how much of the real world doesn't line up with all the shit you've been taught or all the shit that gets preached. And so then you have this big discrepancy of like, okay, I've heard this is how things work, but now I see that this is how things work. Right. Where do you fucking marry the two?
Yeah. Well, it's not just that, but church has become so political now that your political beliefs are really more of your identity in a church now.
Right.
At least in the last 6 years or so.
Well, which is, to me, speaks on churches, but from more of a personal standpoint, as far as removing it, I mean, there's this giant gap between what you're taught, especially as a young person, how the world is and how you're supposed to walk out your Christianity or walk out your faith. And then when you see that, like, okay, there's these, I've made some gay friends. They're not cursed by God. They're not fucking being struck down every day. Okay, I have friends that fucking are smoking weed on the weekends. They're not in the depths of like despair and impoverished and all this other shit. Like, or like you have these people that are fucking by all means and purposes fucking like atheists or whatever, but they're doing more good in their community than all these Christian people. Well, I thought that fucking atheists couldn't do any good. They were fucking cursed by God. Yeah. So you start having these disparities or discrepancies between the two, and then those are really hard to marry together if you take a legitimate look and don't try to justify it through a Bible lens. And you realize, like, okay, so basically either the God that I've been learning about is a fucking asshole and piece of shit, or he's way fucking bigger than what I've been led to believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, that's part of like I saw someone on Facebook who's been a friend of mine and my wife's for years, in church, and so she had posted a comment on Facebook about what's going on, like what's wrong with the church, what's going on. I'm talking about Holly.
Okay.
And like I commented on it, and I don't do this very often, but I commented on it. It's like, well, the church has gotten so political that now your political belief is more along the lines of what you should be showing or doing as far as in your personal life for church that they've just completely lost the thing, which is part of the reason that you and I have said so many times that Ethos Church in Nashville, what they're doing seems to me is as close as we have seen in a North American Judeo-Christian church, as close as it's what it's supposed to be than any other church we've seen. He's got to go take a piss.
That's fine.
So, but it's an interesting thing there because the church so Gabe and I that we went to before we moved to Knoxville there was a guy that was an usher and he helped take up the offering. He would go out with an umbrella and help the little old ladies to their car when it was raining and things like that. And as soon as the pastor found out that he was a smoker, and not weed, just cigarettes, just nothing illegal. But as soon as they found out that he was a smoker, then he was not allowed to do any of that anymore. And it's one of those things that's like, but why? He's there serving the people.
Right.
Which is part of what, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, that's part of what Christianity is serving the people.
No, it's serving the church.
Well, now in North America for sure. But right. I mean, it's like, and that's the kind of thing that kind of turns me off. And now it's more of a, are you going to vote for Trump or are you going to vote for Biden?
I was a full-time pastor, and the second they found out I was getting divorced, I was essentially excommunicated.
Yeah, for sure.
And I would, what the fuck ever. It was, and a lot of people think, oh, you're just bitter from the church, but I'm not bitter from the church. I realize I made my own decisions along the way, and I can see in ways where some of the direction I got was super fucked up, but I don't blame the church for that. I just disagree with them now on a lot of fucking points.
Right.
And, and I believe there's a lot of people, church people that really believe in what they're doing, and they don't see it as harmful. They're honest to God, trying to do what the fuck they think the right thing is to do. What I blame more are the people in leadership in a lot of these churches and denominations and shit for knowing better, but keep up for the sake of keeping a congregation, basically catering to the people to keep money and all that shit. Because I remember when I was learning to run sound at a church back in the day.
Oh, that's where everyone that does sound now learned in church.
I had a pastor that was like, hey, watch this. And the worship band was playing, and he would turn the lights up, and everybody would get up and start clapping. He goes, okay, now watch this. And he'd bring the lights down, and fucking everybody would get all serious and worshipy and all that shit. He was like, see, you have to learn how to manipulate people to get the service to go how you want it to go. And I was like, what the fuck?
Right.
But then as I was in church more and more, I was like, whether it's put in that light or not, that's what's being done consistently. And I was like, oh my God. But again, there are some, so again, I have an issue with a lot of the church leadership and how it's run, but a lot of the people in there, they're trying their best to do what they've been taught and what they believe is the right thing to do. So I don't, as much as I disagree with them, but it's really become a thing politically where it's like, oh, all these Christians are this pro-Trump, this pro-fucking whatever. And I was like, yeah, I get that, but they're doing what they think is the right thing to do. No matter how I view that as being wrong or misguided or whatever the fuck it is. Like, they legitimately think they're wanting the best thing for the rest of the world. And, like, I get that. You know what I mean? And so just like fucking people that are so goddamn liberal, they want to see, like, fucking free speech impeded upon. Like, you can't say, certain words because it's like this crime. And again, it's like so open-minded, you're closed-minded bullshit. Yeah. Most of them have the best intentions. They don't want people to be offended or to be struck down or whatever the fuck it may be. But at the same time, like, their motivation, as well-intended as it might be, is ultimately destructive for everyone else. And that's, that goes on both sides of the fucking coin. Anyway, that's my soapbox on that shit. Don't give me Parker. God damn it! I blame you for this shit.
Parker, Steven is one of the only people I know that can legitimately win an argument and argue both sides of pro-religion or pro-Christianity and anti-Christian.
I just can't win a goddamn bet on this podcast.
It's one of the things. You're right about that. So Steve, there's been several things Steven and I have disagreed on, and he's been wrong about every one of them.
Just on this podcast. But they haven't been things that matter.
No, except for the weight loss.
Yeah, the weight loss.
You lost that.
Yeah. which that's coming soon. But we have decided we're going to record the podcast while I'm getting waxed.
Yeah. So a couple of weeks from now, Parker, for anyone listening,
let's go ahead and say it. It's on our 1 year anniversary.
It's episode 52, which will be the last episode of the first year that we've been doing this.
And then we officially go into season 2.
We do. Season 2, yeah. So Steven will be getting waxed, which is his punishment for losing the weight loss bet. And we will put that up on YouTube. There will be there you go. There's a little bit of the hair that's on the chest there that'll be. So Steven is getting.
I show my dick? There's a lot more.
Steven is getting. Should is a strong word, but you probably should. Yeah. So Steven is. By the way, if you don't follow us on Instagram, or if you don't follow Steven on Instagram, you should follow Steven on Instagram because
I have a private account. I don't let people follow me.
But if they request it, you can approve or deny.
I'm going to send you the pictures that I took for Anchors.
Okay, that's fine. We'll do that. So Steven took some photos for a local hair product company out of Knoxville, which Anchors Away Hair Company. If you don't use any of their products, you totally should use their products. They're made here in Knoxville. They're great products. It's a great guy that heads up that company. But Steven posted some photos where he was nude, and he used the photos to cover his dick up. And because they said that they wanted him to post some pictures that they could use for their social media, and obviously they couldn't use those. But anyway, on episode 52, at least as we sit right now, obviously things could change. But there you go. There's one of the photos. Steven's going to be getting waxed. So Steven lost a weight loss challenge that started in January, and we went 8 weeks. We went January through March, and it was whoever could lose the highest percentage of weight got punished. And we both had a handful of things that we threw into a hat, and the loser had to draw out of the hat, and that was their punishment. And Steven drew a waxing, and it's from the neck down. Yeah. Steven's going to get a full body wax from the neck down on episode 50. On episode 52, and we'll have cameras set up for that so you can see his facial reaction.
Are you still pulling the taint strip?
I may pull the taint strip. I may pull the asshole strip. I may pull the asshole strip. It's just I got to figure out.
Weirdly enough, I know it's going to suck, but I'm kind of excited about it because
is it going to hurt worse if my dick is in the asshole or not?
Well, you're liable to catch some of your own shaft hair if you're up in there.
So we just got a thing. And I'm going to assume it's because we posted on Facebook. And I wouldn't normally do this, but I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to read this out because this drives me crazy.
Okay.
So we got a message through Instagram because of the post we made before the podcast about that we were going on with you guys, and call us with any questions or whatever. No one's called us, so clearly no one pays attention to our social media. But we got a message, and it is from Aminul_F6. So AMINUL_F6.
All Aminul.
So
love that guy.
Spam the shit out of this person.
Yeah.
But here's the message. It says, "Hi, do you want us to spread your profile and business through social media marketing? We are Team Amazon, a professional digital marketing team mentioned below. 1-YouTube-price-views per 1K, $15. Subscribers per 1K, $100. Likes per 1K, $60. 2, Instagram price. Followers per 1K, $50. Likes per 1K, $15. Views per 1K, $12. Anyway, it goes on through Twitter, Spotify, SoundCloud, Facebook. It's, yeah, anyway.
Did you read the reply?
Steven just replied to it, "Nope, but we'd love to spread that asshole." It says, this, so we got something back on here that says, your message is no longer, the message is no longer available because it was like removed by the sender, and it just says
he did not want that asshole spread.
He did not. Steven replied, "Nope, but we'd love to spread that asshole."
Jeez. Oh.
So we do take some pride in spamming back, not spamming, but replying back to these people.
Yeah.
So anyway,
well, dude, are we about ready to sign off for the night?
Sure. I mean, do you guys, Gabe, Parker, do you guys have anything else you wanted to talk about or promote? You guys have anything you want to promote?
I will say before they speak, like Parker's art, like if you don't follow him on Instagram, is legit great.
Yeah,
like,
he's
fucking,
really good.
As much shit as I've given him tonight, and as much as he seems like a fucking tool, his art is fucking fantastic. It really is.
Thank you so much for saying that. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, would you paint me in the nude?
Yeah, that would be my only plug. Is just yeah, you want to commission it?
Yeah.
I would love to paint. I would love to paint you in the nude.
Dude,
that would be incredible.
You like honestly offline, give me a quote, and I might let you paint me fucking in the nude. I'll give that shit to my family for Christmas.
I'm so down.
Gabe? Sad Bois.
Yeah, at the Sad Bois on most things except for on all social media except for Instagram. It is at the Saddest Boys.
Instagram.
Go listen to some old stuff. I think we had a good time. It was fun, and
yeah,
we just talk about a lot of Marvel shit, a lot of movie shit.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
So I actually have one thing I wanted to ask you about.
Me?
One thing, yeah. So you had to go to Texas this week, and you posted something about going to In-N-Out.
Yeah.
In-N-Out. Greatest fast food burger place out there?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's pretty... Wait a minute. Hold on a minute. Your post on Instagram did not say it's pretty good.
Well, that's what I meant.
I consider In-N-Out to be the best fast food burger out there.
Yeah, it's all right.
Parker, Gabe, do you guys have any Gabe, you spent time in California, so I know you had some In-N-Out.
Yeah,
Parker, I don't know if there's In-N-Out in Colorado or not, or I'm sure you ate some In-N-Out when you were in California.
No,
a few years
I
ago.
fucking love In-N-Out. I basically fucked the shit out of that double. I mouth fucked that double.
Yeah.
It was
double, baby, with fries.
Yep.
Fries well done.
All right,
I think it's the best fast food burger.
Yeah,
I'm an animal style guy.
Yeah, animal style guy. I'm a protein style every now and then, and not because I want to be healthy, just because I like their fucking lettuce wrap on the burger. But yeah, dude, fucking, I love that shit. So much.
The thing about a lettuce
Buc-ee's,
wrap
God
is,
damn it, going to Texas, Buc-ee's. It's the greatest gas station on the planet. It's a gas station.
But the thing about a lettuce wrap I've learned, because I like mustard on my burger, is mustard on a lettuce wrap burger doesn't turn out well, at least not from Mooyah, which is a not. I don't know if it's a Knoxville thing or not. But it's in Knoxville.
Get a fucking In-N-Out burger protein, like protein style. It's so good.
Well, next time I'm out there, I will. But anyway,
and if you're ever around Houston like that area, or Austin, whatever, go to fucking Buc-ee's. It's the greatest gas station on the planet. The bathrooms, they have a full-time staff in just the bathrooms that clean it after people use it. Like, it's super fucking clean. There's like 50 or 60 pumps. The inside's almost like a fucking Walmart.
Seen a Buc-ee's.
They have a goddamned beef jerky bar. Like, I'm talking like 100 types of fucking beef jerky. It's so awesome.
I've never heard of
Buc-ee's
or seen
is
Buc-ee's.
the greatest gas station. Like, if
Interesting.
I was driving through Texas and I needed to get gas, and there's a Buc-ee's within fucking 150 miles, if I could make it, I'd go to the goddamn Buc-ee's. It's amazing.
Damn.
All right. Well, you've poured me enough Four Roses that I'm starting to get a little bit of a buzz.
Yeah, that's
going.
what I was just showing this on the thing. We've
we've almost drank
good.
the whole Four Roses. So, and anyone listening,
look how red my fucking face is on this shit.
Yeah. So anyone listening, we're going to be on the Sad Bois podcast, episode 50. This is a crossover episode 50. So check that out as well. And if you want to hear some pop culture and movie talk and other things, then check out the Sad Bois. They'll be back at some point in the near future.
Yep. And I'm hypercritical, and I enjoyed their podcast. The few I listened to.
There you go.
So
there you go. Stevens just said it. He's an asshole, and
I recommend the podcast.
The highest praise.
Next week we're gonna have a veteran on that's got a pop culture video YouTube podcast.
Which I want to ask him, because I smell a little exaggeration in some of that.
He's got a very interesting bio.
And don't get me wrong, I think he's had an impressive life, because when you have some near-death experience like he does, it makes you kicks shit off, but I feel like
when he got injured in an army tour in Afghanistan and spent 4 years in rehab in the hospital or something like that. So,
and I'm a master bullshitter, so I can smell some fucking bullshit.
Sure.
And I'm not saying he's lying. I just feel like some of it's exaggerated. But
anytime you see a bio
like
that
cool
good,
guy.
You automatically go, "Ooh, I wonder how much of that is embellished."
But he seems like a cool guy.
Yeah.
So, all right then. Thanks, Sad Boys, for being on here.
Thank you for having us.
We've enjoyed you.
Anytime.
Thank you so much. Congrats on reaching 50.
Yeah.
Thanks. And we look forward to being on your 50.
Yeah. All right. Until next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Give us a thumbs up on Facebook at B3F Podcast. Follow us on Twitter at B3F Podcast and on Instagram at B3F_podcast. Send us your questions or comments to bfff.podcast@gmail.com. Rate us and review us wherever you listen to the show. And as always, thanks for listening.